Hey guys, Cholera here, bringing you the winners match of the ClubDay MSL Group E. Here is Cal, STX Soul Gujilla, we could start calling him also. He's a Protoss player who managed to defeat Stork in Game 1 despite facing a huge setback towards the middle of the game, being forced back up his ramp and still coming back with some excellent reverse snipes. And here we see C, who surprised all of us with a very, very fast cheese. BBS in the center of the map, you know, really it, it goes from the bottom levels of IC Cup to the top levels of Pro StarCraft, really. The all-in barracks rush, and really it is just so deadly against Protosses who get greedy, and it really reminds Protosses that, hey, sometimes you can't go 14 Nexus, or you know, 14 Nexus, double Nexus on Plasma. But anyway, here we're seeing C in the red at the 6 o'clock location, and we're seeing Cal in, I believe, white at the 3 o'clock location. This is going to be Medusa, a match on Medusa, 3-player map, and certainly a very interesting map. Mainly, the most interesting part of this map is those temples, those 10 temples stacked upon each other that block a ramp that leads to a whole area behind your main base. And that has proven critical in several matches so far. Much versus July and Flash versus Bisu in the OSL round of 16 are good examples. And we did see, I believe, July versus... well, actually, I won't go into that, but we've certainly seen that pretty much come into play in pretty much every single game on Medusa so far. Are those temples? You can either sneak a probe or an SCV through using two workers, or you can blow up those temples and get behind the enemy's base, but that is a huge positional advantage if you decide to go for that. And we'll see if either player decides to go for it sooner or later. I expect that they will somehow come into play. And I think on this map, I'm gonna favor Protoss here, because other than that ramp behind your main base, the center of the map is very open. You can't build in it. It's very open. And I think that's going to give an advantage to Protoss against Terran because of the maneuverability of the Protoss army and the fact that the Terran really doesn't have any ramps to protect himself with tanks and to set up a really good defensive positioning. See here setting up his gas early, actually, or actually at the same time as barracks. So 12 barracks, 12 gas there, and a standard build from him, actually, not going for the cheese, which he's not usually doing in most games, I have to say. C is definitely not the cheeser in most games. He's no Flash, and that makes his cheeses more powerful, though, in some ways, because, you know, you don't expect it so much from him. Just like a player like mine, for example, who has a reputation, earned or not, as being a solid player, who doesn't go for cheeses. When mine cheeses, it also works quite often than not. It looks like, yeah, both players are just going to check that ramp behind their bases, and both are going to place a building up there just to make sure there's nothing sneaky going on. And like I said, that could be one of the critical points of this match, is whether either player decides to take advantage of it. Since there are 10 temples stacked upon each other, your only bet of getting through them is to use something with splash damage. Either lurkers or siege tanks or reavers are good examples of units to use to attack the temple. I think lurkers actually are quite good. That is a box of tomatoes, and I really don't know who they're for. Someone can inform me about that joke. C looks like he's reaching the 3rd minute mark of the game, and he's already starting to get that hand sweat that he's so famous for. Maybe that's why he's called C. There's a sea of sweat around him. Salt water after he's done playing. Actually, I do know why he's called C. It's a long story, but in the Team Liquid attack, you can find it. Anyway, here we're seeing C placing his factory, and he looks like he's most likely going to set up for a fast expand here after factory. Although actually he's still mining gas, so maybe he's going to go for some kind of 2-factory push. But I'm going to assume he's going for that fast expand, though, given the number of Marines and the fact he built that extra supply depot in his base. I think he's going for that extra command center. Here we're seeing Stork, C finally is going to get the scout into Cal's base. I don't know if Cal has anything blocking his main base from getting scouted, though. And we're seeing a starport, actually, of all things, coming from C. So I was wrong there. He was mining gas for a reason. And we're probably going to see a vulture drop now, or a tank drop. And not either could be very dangerous if he manages to pull it off. Looks like he's going to get a scout inside of Cal's base. It's going to be about whether Cal is going for a tech build right now, or if he's going to go for a fast expand after core, and looks like he's actually going for a Citadel of a Dune. I don't think C saw that. So interesting enough, we're going to see a DT rush from Cal versus most likely a tank drop or possibly a vulture drop from C, although I'm leaning towards tank drop because of the positioning behind the main base, which is so powerful. Yes, it is going to be a tank drop, and he's done it in a way, he's built this in a way that it could look like an FD push there to Cal if Stork pushes out with those Marines and at one tank. Cal might be thinking he's just setting up that natural expansion, but that could be tricking Cal, and that could be very, very bad for Cal. On the other hand, C is not going to have any detection at all, and C has built a lot of Marines actually. That's 7 Marines there. That is not standard for an FD even, but looks like he's going to face up against 3 Dragoons. Nice micro from C, but he's losing a number of his Marines, and I think Cal knows something is up now. Now that he's seen the Vulture coming out, and units pushing in towards his main base, and we're seeing actually vultures with mines, so that is going to be the first upgrade. Interesting enough, though, I think it might be a vulture drop, or it might be I don't know what the I'm pretty sure it's got to be for drop, but anyway, so we're seeing an expansion going up for Cal, and we're seeing the Templar Archives going up, so he's going to get those DTs, and that's going to help him a lot, I think, against drops coming up. Yeah, we are seeing that dropship coming out here, and it will be most likely a vulture drop of some sort. Although we could see a tank drop still if siege mode is researched. And robotics facility going down for Cal also. Cal probably going for a DT drop is his original plan, but it's not exactly as fast of a DP drop as is possible. He did go for that Nexus also, so it's really a DT drop to for harassment rather than to actually kill his opponent. It's going to be hard. It would be hard for him to kill the opponent even if C was going for a fast expand. In any case, though, here comes C with his dropship there. Cal, I don't think suspects this coming. If anything, he might be suspecting some kind of 2-factory push here, and he might not expect that drop in the back there. He's C actually doing a good job diverting the forces, and yes, we are going to see a tank and vulture drop there from C. C probably has siege mode coming up pretty soon, or you could just use the tank actually to try to snipe off these units. But looks like Dragoon's coming up there. He needs to lead the Dragoons into the mines, and no, C does not doing a good job here. C is going to lose his dropship, only at the cost of taking out 2 Dragoons of Cal's, and C is hugely behind. He managed to basically do no damage there with the drop. His tank got killed there along with the dropship. Cal was just too fast in reacting. Looks like Cal actually canceled his natural expansion out of fear that C was going to push in. I think that might have been a move that just about saves C a little bit, because C now has got his expansion going up. Actually, see what happened was that Cal set up the expansion behind his main base. I think he was setting up the natural expansion also, though, and he had to cancel it. The expansion behind your base, of course, is only a mineral only, whereas C is going to have that second gas. So C, despite losing that early dropship there without doing any damage, is not going to be that far behind because he's going to have the extra gas. He'll probably put down at least 2 factories at this point, and then pump a lot of tanks. I don't know if C knows a drop is coming, actually, and this could have both a Reaver and Dark Templar, actually. Interesting enough, Cal choosing to go for both techs off of just 1 gas. That's actually really crazy. Robotic Support Bay and Dark Templar, so he's going to have to do a lot of damage also, to say the least, or else he is going to be very behind C. Here he comes, though, with the dropship, with the shuttle, rather, and looks like it's DTs, and where's the Reaver? Oh, just DTs. The shuttle goes down, though, but importantly, I think C might not have detection anymore in that area. C's going to have to rely on these vulture mines. I think the vulture mines are going to be pretty successful. Oh, that vulture mine gets caught. It looks like it finally does take out the Dark Templar, and I don't think this Dark Templar drop's going to do much. Once C gets just 1 more mine out, looks like maybe those vultures are out of mines, or that or that missile turret, it's going to take care of this DT harassment here. And Cal, I think, was a little bit careless in losing that shuttle. I don't think he needed to lose that shuttle. I don't know if there was something else in that shuttle, like a Reaver, that he was carrying around that he wanted to drop also. I don't know. But I assume there was. It's got to be something in there because he did have a robotic support bay, and I don't think he would have let that Reaver die so easily. Let that shuttle die had it not been trying to drop a Reaver. I don't know. Here we're seeing a Reaver in the front door, so maybe he didn't have that Reaver. I don't know. In any case, so it looks like finally that DT dies, and C walling himself in, actually. Very smart move there. You can wall, I guess you can wall in as a turn there at your natural expansion with the 2 supply depots and a barracks. So C putting down 1 more factory. He's probably going to have an extra factory going up. And C actually choosing to take the air against Proton. Protoss. That is definitely a variation. We don't see that often in TVP. We don't necessarily see that very often, the Terran player going for dropships. But I think it's effective when it does happen. So I'm going to favor C right now in this game. He's getting his Academy up. He's going to have the scanners. And he does have a little bit of a tech advantage over Cal. Well, actually, no, I won't say he has a tech advantage, but certainly has a gas advantage over Cal. Cal just now, I think, has finished setting up his natural expansion with gas. And I think these two dropships are actually going to meet in the middle here. Yeah, dropships meeting, saying hello to each other, and there's sort of a dual drop here. We're going to see a Reaver and 2 Zealots coming down here from Cal. I don't know what C has in his side, his dropship, perhaps a tank and 2 Vultures again. Reaver shot kills a lot of SCVs though, and looks like he managed to pick off at least 4 SCVs. Yeah, 4 SCVs there, 5th SCV going down there from Cal. Meanwhile though, I don't know what happened. Oh man.